Donald is the National Vice-Chair of the Police Federation of England and Wales, the representative body for police officers, and he joins me now from central London. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're obviously very concerned about these figures. What do you think lies behind them?
Well, obviously deeply concerned about those figures, but it's predicted. You can't remove the number of police officers that we've lost over the last 8 years and expect crime to be stationary or even decrease. And I know you've referred to a number of graphs this morning, but it would have been nice to put a graph next to it and show how police officer numbers have gone down since 2008. And there's a direct correlation, without a doubt, between drops in police numbers, drops in police funding, and rising crime going up through the roof, but particularly for those high harm offences such as knife crime, homicides, robberies.
I put that to the policing minister, Nick Hurd, a little earlier, and I asked him, hand on heart, could he say that if police numbers hadn't been cut, that the figures would be different, the figures that we're seeing today? And he said, he wanted to see more police on the streets, that there would be 3,000 more officers coming on stream, but he sounded pretty hamstrung by budgets, frankly.
Yeah, and budgets pay for everything. If we don't have the money, we can't recruit. It's also a difficult position to put the police minister in, because it's his party and his party's policy that has seen public services cut across the board, but even more so in policing, where the primary function is not only the police's but the government's to protect the public. And you cannot cut away so harshly that like has been done and expect us to continue to deliver a service that keeps the public safe, and more importantly a service that our officers can be proud of delivering, and that's just not happening.
Do you feel that the policing minister wants to give you more officers, that he wants to do that if he could?
I wholeheartedly think that that is his intention, but we are being hamstrung by the Treasury. Now, the police minister, the Home Secretary can put in as great an argument as ever, but it does require the Treasury to release money that forces are being starved of currently. And this is without even talking about the funding formula, which is so inherently unfair and outdated that even with central government funding, it doesn't give money where it's needed the most.
How difficult then, Che, is it becoming to put in the kind of policing that's needed to bring down knife crime, to investigate murders, to deal with robberies, to deal with violence against the person? These are all areas where the rate has been going up.
Well, policing's really quite simple. You put officers out on the street, they proactively detect crime, deter crime, investigate crime. And what we've got at the moment is a police service that is barely coping with the demands being placed on it. So where we had officers proactively patrolling streets previously, we haven't got that. What we've got is firefighting policing at the moment. Police officers going from job to job, and the majority of crimes that are coming in, as previous reports have shown, have been screened out. So Greater Manchester, for example, 60% of crimes coming in aren't even going to the officers on the ground. They're just being closed. And we're struggling to cope with just 40% of those crimes that are being reported. So what do we need? Simple. We need more officers. We need more funding. But it's not going to happen overnight. We've gotten to this position over 8 long years, and it's going to take as long to try and turn around the position that we found ourselves in.
OK, Ché Donald, thank you very much for your time. National Vice-Chair of the Police Federation of England and Wales.